Germany didn't lose because of the referee. They didn't lose because of bad luck. And they certainly didn't lose because of a penalty shootout. That's the easy story. The comfortable story. The story people tell when they're desperate to avoid a much more painful truth. Because after Germany's shocking elimination against Paraguay at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, one man refused to hide behind excuses. One man refused to point at the officials. One man refused to blame fate. Germany captain Joshua Kimmich looked directly at the failure and said something that modern sports rarely allows people to say. If you cannot win in 120 minutes, you deserve to be eliminated. No excuses. No victim mentality. Just responsibility. And that's what makes this story bigger than football. Because what happened to Germany wasn't simply a loss. It was a collision between expectation and reality. A lesson every athlete, every leader, and every competitor eventually learns. The weight of a jersey. There are certain nations in football that don't just enter tournaments. They carry history with them. Germany is one of those nations. For generations, the German national team represented consistency, discipline, mental strength. When tournaments arrived, Germany was expected to reach the final stages. Not because they were always the most talented, but because they were always mentally prepared. The world grew up expecting Germany to survive, to adapt, to find a way. That reputation became part of their identity. And identities are powerful things. Until reality starts challenging them. Because for nearly a decade, Germany has struggled to live up to the image it once created. Early exits. Disappointment. Questions without answers. And with every tournament, the pressure became heavier, not lighter. The dangerous trap of expectation. Most people think pressure comes from opponents. But the most dangerous pressure comes from yourself. From expectations. From believing you're supposed to win. When athletes become obsessed with protecting their reputation, they stop focusing on performance. Instead of chasing victory, they start avoiding failure. And those are two very different mindsets. One creates freedom. The other creates fear. Against Paraguay, Germany wasn't just playing another team. They were playing against the weight of their own history. Every missed opportunity carried frustration. Every mistake carried anxiety. Every minute increased the fear of becoming another chapter in a painful trend. And fear is a terrible teammate. Because fear doesn't help you perform. Fear helps you panic. The moment that revealed everything. When the match ended, many people immediately searched for a villain. The referee. VAR. The penalty shootout. Something. Anything. Because blaming external factors is comforting. It protects the ego. It creates distance between us and our mistakes. But Joshua Kimmich refused to take that path. He didn't attack the officials. He didn't question the system. He didn't search for sympathy. Instead, he said something most people never have the courage to say. We should have been good enough to win. Think about how rare that is. In sports. In business. In life. People are trained to defend themselves. To explain away failure. To build a case for why something wasn't their fault. But true leaders do something different. They accept reality before they try to change it. And that's exactly what Kimmich did. The difference between leaders and victims. Victims ask, who can I blame? Leaders ask, what could I have done better? Victims search for reasons. Leaders search for solutions. Victims focus on fairness. Leaders focus on responsibility. And responsibility is uncomfortable. Because the moment you accept responsibility, you lose the right to hide. But you also gain something powerful. Control. Because if failure is always someone else's fault, then improvement is impossible. But if failure belongs to you, then growth belongs to you as well. That is the mindset that creates champions. Not perfection. Not talent. Not luck. Ownership. Why this matters beyond football. This story isn't really about Germany. It's about every person who has ever failed. Every athlete who missed the shot. Every student who failed the test. Every entrepreneur whose business collapsed. Every dream that didn't go according to plan. The easiest thing in the world is finding excuses. The hardest thing is looking in the mirror. Because the mirror doesn't negotiate. The mirror doesn't care about bad luck. The mirror only shows reality. And reality is where growth begins. Not comfort. Not excuses. Not denial. Reality. Germany's World Cup ended in disappointment. Another painful chapter. Another tournament that failed to meet expectations. But hidden inside that defeat was a lesson far more valuable than a victory. A lesson delivered by a captain who understood something many people never learn. You cannot control referees. You cannot control luck. You cannot control what happens around you. But you can control how honestly you respond to failure. And sometimes, the strongest words in football aren't spoken after a trophy is lifted. They're spoken after everything falls apart. Because champions are not defined by how they celebrate success. They are defined by how they confront failure. And when the world searched for excuses, Joshua Kimmich chose responsibility. That is leadership. That is mindset. And that is why Germany's defeat may teach us more than any victory ever could.